Came at the jeweler with a new chain. Got a new watch with it. All this fucking.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy TRELUVX. You know what I'm saying? We're back at the game with another video. So listen, today's gonna be another mastering tutorial video. I'm gonna be showing you guys how I use Ozone and kind of just come up with my whole little master chain. But before we get started, don't forget to check out Mix the Magic at TRELUVXXX.com, and you guys can find all your preset needs. And don't forget to use code MAGIC in the checkout, take 20% off. But let's go to hop into the video. Right here we got a track by my boy King, and I'm gonna kind of play it for you guys really quick. Turn the master off, and then I'm gonna go ahead and kind of run through the master really quick. So turn all this stuff off, and we're good to go.
Came at the jeweler with a new chain. Got a new watch with it. All this fucking drip, you would think I sell cocaine. Bitch, I'm nice with it. I got an all black whip and the doors go up. Probably got some money but can't flex like us. They smile to my face but they envious. My shit to deny but it's obvious. I got models in the penthouse and they dancing. Straight to the room, I ain't doing no romance.
If y'all are enjoying this song, you know what I'm saying, go ahead, spam my boy by King on Instagram, you know what I'm saying, and tell him to go ahead and drop models in the penthouse, man. This is a certified banger, you know what I'm saying. We already dropped Stupid Rich, but let's hop into the tutorial now. So as you guys heard, that was the vocals mixed in. Now it sounds great, sounds good. First thing I do is I add my master EQ, which is gonna basically kind of blend the vocals with the beat. So this high end is blending with the beat, giving it some more crispiness, and just kind of, you know, meshing everything together, you know what I'm saying. So this little deductive EQ down here for 240 hertz is gonna be kind of taking out some of that nasally sound, and also kind of blending in that lower end, just so the vocals and the instrumental kind of mesh together. Now I do this especially whenever you don't have the stems. If you had stems, you can kind of make everything fit in its own little spot and do that manually. But this is another great way, instead of you know, having stems and kind of having to go through all the extra stuff. You can just kind of do this and to blend everything in, kind of give everything its own space, and yeah. So this is what it would sound like so far with that. Let's actually turn it off really quick.
Came at the jeweler with a new chain. Got a new watch with it. All this fucking drip, you would think I sell cocaine. Bitch, I'm nice with it. I got an all black whip and the doors go up. Probably got some money but can't flex like us. They smile to my face but they envious.
So I was turning it off and on. You guys can probably hardly even notice it, but what it does is, like I said, it'll kind of boost the high end, make the vocal and the instrumental kind of mesh together a little bit more, and it'll take some of that low end out, just to kind of fit everything in, give it its own space. And like I said, it's hardly noticeable, but especially when you're doing it, you can really notice it. The next thing would be is this the secondary EQ. Now this is what I'm doing is now what I'm doing with this is I'm going through, right, and I'm selecting all these spots. So I have like a high end, a middle, and then a low end, maybe even 4 little boost right here. It just kind of depends, but what I'm doing is I'm just kind of dragging each EQ up to see what sounds good, you know what I'm saying. So we'll have it up all the way, right? So I have it reset, and then actually I'll go ahead and just kind of show you guys this is for example, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and play it, kind of do what I do, and don't worry about it being too much, because we're gonna turn the volume for this EQ down in the end. So
Came at the jeweler with a new chain. Got a new watch with it. All this fucking drip, you would think I sell cocaine. Bitch, I'm nice with it. I got an all black whip and the doors go up. Probably got some money but can't flex like us. They smile to my face but they envious. My shit to the night but it's obvious. I got models in the penthouse and they dancing. Straight to the room, I ain't doing no romancing. Old clothes on, they promoting no fashion. Never got a problem cause the money everlasting. I got models in the penthouse and they dance. Straight to the room, I ain't doing no romancing. Old clothes on, ain't promoting no fashion. Never got a problem cause the money everlasting. As soon as I get off the plane, I go straight to the back end. My life was a slippery slope, now I'm picking up some traction. Can't picture my life if I never started trapping. Can't picture my life.
So all I did there was, for one, I just turned it off. But all I did there was I kind of just had some boost, found the great spots. So I know, especially on the high end around 9,000 to 11, 12,000, I'm gonna want to boost there just because that's where the vocals are really prominent. It's gonna make the vocals cut through. So I got a boost there. In between there and like 100 hertz, I'm just kind of finding what sounds best, and then kind of having a slight little boost there. You're not gonna want none of the like the nasally type of sounds that you might get around 200 or 300. But if it sounds good, obviously you keep it there. But I'm not really having my boost sit too high, so we got like almost 4 decibels or 2 decibels, 2.5, and then 4 decibels again. So you can really go up to like 6 or whatever. It doesn't really matter, but you don't want it to be fucking up at 20 decibels, way up there, and then it just kind of defeats the purpose. Because then you're going to be turning the EQ all the way down and stuff like that. So basically, you just want to kind of do a sweep, find the great sounds, drag it down to where it's like it's still kind of a lot, but it's not too much. You know what I'm saying? We're doing that throughout the whole thing. Around this 60 hertz, I'm looking for the bass. So I'm going to boost the bass up. That's going to give me a nice little bass sound. And then sometimes I even drag the bass up like that. But for this song, I don't really have to. But I'm going to go ahead and play without both of the EQs. I'm going to add them in one by one. And then you guys will see kind of what we're doing so far, what we've done, and then how we're sounding. So let's go ahead and play it.
Chain. Got a new watch with it. All this fucking drip, you would think I sell cocaine. Bitch, I'm nice with it. I got an all black whip and the doors go up. Probably got some money but can't flex like us. They smile to my face but they envious. My shot to deny but it's obvious. I got models in the penthouse and they dancing straight to the room.
That's not even all we're gonna be doing, so like I said, I added them in. So we got this first little master EQ. We got this secondary pinpoint certain spots. We turn that down to about 20%. You can do like 10, 15, 20, 25%. I try not to really go over that just because there's really no need to. But with that second EQ that we added, you guys can hear that it's kind of making everything brighter. It's somehow some way it's making everything wider, and it's just really kind of enhancing the song, So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add this Ozone in. So Ozone will give you a lot of different, I guess, plugins within it. But all I do is I use a vintage tape, imager, and then we'll even go ahead and add the maximizer. So these are kind of a rough draft of settings you might want. The bias right here is gonna allow you to make it more like clear. One's kind of more muffled. If you go down, it's more clear. If you go up, it's more kind of muffled. And not clear and muffled as in like an EQ. It's more like it's just in some way it's making it more clear. It kind of allow each individual vocal and everything to kind of stand out independently. The other one's more kind of blended. Once you guys pull it up on your own track, you'll be able to really kind of mess with it, hear what it's doing. The next thing we got is the harmonics. Harmonics aren't really doing too much. The way I describe it is it's kind of enhancing the low emphasis and high emphasis more, so we just keep that around like 2 or something. So low emphasis kind of boosting the low end up, so if you have a real bass heavy track, you don't really have to do too much. If you have a real bass heavy track but it's lacking high end, you might want to boost the high emphasis up more to kind of equalize everything out, or the opposite way, vice versa. You might want to have the high end kind of low emphasis boost more. Kind of, it's very track dependent, but something like this is typically what I get. Then we go to the imager, and then so this one's also very track dependent. You won't notice too much, but I say around like definitely boost your high end up to around like 30, 40, somewhere around there. You can do sweeps and kind of listen to see what it's doing. But it's mainly to give 10,000 and up, like its own sort of width and range. To give 2,000 to 10,000 its own width and range, and basically so on and so forth. Now, so we're on to the maximizer. What I do with my maximizer, this actually isn't preloaded in, so we'll be making this one from scratch. I go down to my RC3. and I put it on crisp just because I want my vocals to be clear cut through. If you have a real bass heavy track and your track's clipping, you know, you can do clipping, you can do balance, etc. You can really check out all of these, but I always go with crisp. I turn on my true peak, and then let's go ahead and play it, and then just kind of see where these numbers are hitting at on this little meter right here.
I ain't doing no romancing. Old clothes on, ain't promoting no fashion. Never got a problem cause the money everlasting. I got models in the penthouse and they dance straight to the room. I ain't doing no romancing. Old clothes on, ain't promoting no fashion. Never got a problem cause the money everlasting. As soon as I get off the plane, I go straight to the back. And my life was a slippery slope, now I'm picking up some trash. Can't picture my life if I never.
So yeah, like I said, I keep it on crisp. You know, threshold in between like -0.5. You can drop it down more. You know, it's very track dependent as well. But that's really all I do. I add my my maximizer. Well, it's basically like a limiter. You know? The only other thing that I might do is if I'm not getting enough boost with my limiter, and if I'm dragging my threshold down too much and it's just like it's not sounding clean anymore. So we have our input right here and our output. This is obviously the track before we have any Ozone effects on. This is obviously the track with everything that we've added in Ozone. So the output's going to be everything with Ozone. If it's not sounding loud enough, and I want my peak RMS to be sitting around like -6, -3, even maxing out a little bit. But the average should be around -6. And then kind of just, you know, going up and below it type shit like that. Then what I'll do is I'll drag this little knob up. This is the gain right here, so you might do like 0.3, 0.5, 0.7, something like that. But I feel like this track is fine. It sounds loud enough to me, and that pretty much wraps it up. I'm gonna play it back from the top. My computer is a little laggy with Ozone, so I'm gonna do tools, macros, switch smart disable. So we got all of our plugins smart disable. Let's see what it sounded like, man.
Arrows run it up. Came at the jeweler with a new chain. Got a new watch with it. All this fucking drip, you would think I sell cocaine. Bitch, I'm nice with it. I got an all black whip and the doors go up. Probably got some money but can't flex like us. They smile to my face but they envious. My shit to deny but it's obvious. I got models in the penthouse and they dancing straight to the room. I ain't doing no romancing. Old clothes on, ain't promoting no fashion. Never got a problem cause the money everlasting. I got my.
So as you guys see right there, you know what I'm saying, the mastering definitely helps a lot. You know, and that's just the way I do it with every song. You know, I got my 2 EQs, got my Ozone, and that's pretty much the sauce, man. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and check out all the new videos, man. We've been dropping like crazy. We got some fire content, and don't forget to check out Mix and Magic, you know what I'm saying, to find all your preset needs. But it's your boy TRELUVX, and I'm out. Peace.